So this is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my old friend Tony Sims, head of the Matchroom Elite Gym, of course. Tony, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Danny.
Good, mate. And you're out in Liverpool, of course, just 2 days away from Conor Benn's latest test, this one against former world champion Chris Algieri. How do you kind of sum up the level of challenge this will be for Conor?
It's a massive challenge, and he's obviously his hardest opponent to date, former world champion, and he's boxed all the best, Spence and Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan, who's only 3 defeats. So, he's been in with the best, and he's a good fighter, and it's the sort of fight that Conor Benn needs to take now to push on to the next level. So, he's put everything into the training for this fight, and he's ready to go on Saturday night.
What is the next level after someone like Chris Algieri? Does it have to be a world title shot after this, or is there another level in between, do you think?
Well, there's a lot of talk about, Conor fighting the winner of the Brook Khan. So that would be a massive domestic fight. And that would be a fight that we'd probably be interested in before moving into world title. And as you know, Conor's ranked like number 5 with the WBA now. And we know that Usyk has got that title. And, that'll be the route that we'll be pushing for. But, the winner of Brook Khan's obviously a big fight, that could push Conor on further as well. So probably that'll be his next step, and maybe the world title after that.
So would you fancy Usyk more than, Spence or Crawford, who are the other champions in the division?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Crawford, I feel, if you look at his record, he's on another level at the moment, and Spence is like close behind him. So even though Usyk has had that great win against Pacquiao, I don't believe that he would be as difficult a fight as them two. And you'd have to put him like a step down from them two, really.
What are the improvements you're looking to see from Conor? Obviously, you see him already in the gym, but what would you like to see come out on fight night that maybe we haven't seen enough of in the past?
Well, I think he improves, on every fight, and that's the main thing, really. Like, he's obviously still a work in progress, and you've seen him fight under the spotlight as a raw novice when he first started, and 5-6 years later, we're now seeing him as number 5 contender in the world. So, the progress has been immense in his, in his short career. And as we say, he's gaining a former world champion. He's been in with the elite, and it's how he deals with this next fight. We'll see the progress in what he's made in the gym, and then, in his ability to move into world level in this next fight. And I believe in him, and I believe he is world level. And, we're confident of getting the win over Algieri on Saturday night.
You've got Joe Cordina on the bill as well. Are you surprised at all he's not a little bit further on by now? Or he's still unbeaten, great amateur, just looked great getting to the British title, but then it's kind of slowed down a bit. I guess for a lot of people during COVID it did.
Well, you got to understand he had a major operation on his hand, so it put him out for quite a while. And he had a metacarpal operation where they took a piece of the bone out of the hip and basically welded it into the back of his hand. So that kept him out for quite a while. And, he had that comeback fight against the Belgian where, he was quite rusty, really. And then, he's had the 1 round winning fight camp. And now he's got quite a difficult opponent in this unbeaten Belgian guy who's a good amateur. He's not actually Belgium, he's from Armenia, and he was like a world level amateur, boxed in Europeans and that. And, it's going to be quite a tricky fight for him Saturday night. But I think he's closing in now on a fight against the new champion, Iguana, and Eddie's saying, like, if he comes through this fight, he may be fighting him next, hopefully, if Eddie can get the fight done. So he's like maybe one fight away now from his world title fight.
Well, that's good news. Let me ask you about Felix Cash. I know he's vacated the British title, of course. We saw new match made for that, the vacant belt, earlier today by the board. What's next for Felix? Because he looks like another one who's not far off world level now.
Yeah, he's like number 8 with the WBO. So he's going to fight on January the 22nd in London. And we're probably going to do we wanted to do the European title in January, but the champion, he don't want to fight till March. So I think we're going to do maybe an international title, WBO international title, and just push him up a little bit further up the ratings. I'm hearing Andrade may not make any more defences of that title. He may move up a weight. He's been saying he's going to move up a weight to try and challenge Canelo and put himself in a position to challenge Canelo. So, as you say, Felix is not that far off of fighting maybe for the world title, maybe the next 2 fights, January, maybe another one in April, and then he'll probably be looking ready to go then.
And what of John Ryder? Obviously, proven world level performer at super middleweight, potentially middleweight and light heavyweight as well. What's next for him?
Eddie's lining him up for January the 22nd with a big named opponent. I can't really say the names at the minute, but I think we're coming close to naming a big name opponent. Obviously, it's very difficult for John because, the weight division he's in, super middleweight. Canelo's got all the titles and he calls the shots. So there's not much you can do there. He had a little try up at light heavyweight because there was maybe a possible match against Bivol, but that sort of fell through. And to be truthful, John didn't really feel that comfortable up at that weight anyway. So it'll be a fight down at super middleweight, and he should be against a big name opponent from America. So we're just waiting for the finalisation on that. But he'll be fighting January 22nd alongside Felix in London.
Do you expect Canelo to start relinquishing some of those super middleweight belts, knowing now that his next fight's going to be at cruiser?
I don't think he will, Dan. I think he'll do this cruiserweight fight with the possibility of him obviously fighting up at that weight and winning that world title. But we all know that he's not big enough to be a cruiserweight. No. And he probably picked out the fight that he thinks, that he could possibly win at cruiserweight, and make himself like a 5-weight world champion. But I believe that he'll come back down to super middle and defend that super middleweight again, because that's like a weight that obviously he enjoys fighting at. But the problem with that, Dan, is that while he's doing all that, all the other contenders, it's not just John, but it's like there's obviously contenders in every division, the top 2 or 3, are all just going to be sitting around waiting to see what he's doing, and it's just going to probably hold the titles up for another year. So in the meantime, all them top fighters have all got to keep busy and earn a living, obviously. And now I think what you're probably going to see is like just the top contenders fight each other, and probably try and put themselves all self as number 1 mandatories, and wait for Canelo to win his cruiserweight title, and then wait for Canelo to choose who he's going to fight next. He really, although we all love to see, watch Canelo fight and, unify the division, it's a frustrating time for all the other fighters in the division because, they're just sitting around really waiting for him.
So we could see John potentially against someone like Danny Jacobs in the future. And that seems like a relatively easy one to make.
I think that's one of the names that's been mentioned. Dan, there's like 3 names that have been mentioned, but I think Eddie's working on it in the background. And they're the only sort of sexy fights that are around now. Apart from Canelo, you've got like John Ryder, Danny Jacobs, Lemieux, but Lemieux's just been ordered to fight Benavidez.
Yeah.
You've got like Rosado, even though he lost that fight against Meninga, he's still, a good name to fight. So there's a few names being passed around. But as I say, it's just all waiting on Canelo and what Canelo wants to do. So you just got to keep busy in the meantime and just keep yourself up there. It's quite a frustrating time, really.
And you've got Ted Cheeseman, Martin Ward, both coming off disappointing defeats, I think it's fair to say, albeit in different fashion. What's happening with them? Are they back in the gym yet? What's the plan?
No, I don't know whether either one of them will fight again, Dan, to be honest, because both of them boys like quite successful outside of the ring, you know, and got their own businesses. And so I think like Martin reached like a pinnacle in his career where he sort of, he won the Lonsdale belt outright. He won the Commonwealth and the European title, and obviously fought that final eliminator, you know, and the shame about it was he obviously, you know, he had a knee injury going into the fight and that caused a loss for him. But for him to get back to that level again, you know, it's probably going to take another 2 or 3 fights to get back there. And I don't know whether he would want to do that, you know, because would he want to fight for the British title again? Don't see any point in that, really. European, you know, so I don't see Martin coming back, really. But that's obviously a decision that he's got to make. And with Ted, the same thing. Does Ted, like Ted won the British title twice over, and does Ted want to really come back and win the British title again, you know? So I think, you know, as I was saying earlier, they've both got successful businesses outside of boxing. So boxing ain't their, you know, their only income that they rely on. So I don't know whether either one of them will box again, but obviously that's their decisions, what they have to make. But obviously, you know, they've both got to be proud of the, you know, what they've done in boxing and, you know, the titles they've won in their career they've done. And they're both young men still. You know, both got their life in front of them, both healthy. So, you know, I'm proud of them both.
Have you been to Ted's new bar yet?
I haven't, you know, Dan, because obviously I've been really busy in the gym, but I will, you know, I will go there, obviously. By the sounds of it, he's really doing well there, and he's got his own building business where he's got quite a few people working for him as well. So he's quite successful, Ted, outside of boxing. You know, he's a smart guy, business-wise. And, you know, I will go over there, though, Dan, have an orange juice.
Yeah. Is that something you actively, like, encourage in your fighters, or even try and help set it up for them, that they have something else outside the sport?
Yeah, I like for them to be successful out of boxing, and not just like Martin's got a couple of properties that he rents out as well, and he's also got a paving business with his brother Bobby that they're really successful with. So I like them to like anything, you know, with boxing, it's such an hard sport, you know, and you see a lot of fighters. You see a lot of fighters there, you know, they have a lot of hard fights in their career, and they, you know the story, Dan, don't you? You know a lot of fighters, and, you know, you see them at the end of it and they've spent their money and they ain't got nothing, you know, left, and then they make a comeback, then another comeback. It's quite sad, really, to see. And I just think that if you can get your money out of boxing and invest it into something like business or property in the meantime while you're still fighting, because some of the money the young fellas get, you know, they get it in chunks. So when you're fighting for British title or European title or whatever, you get enough, you know, you get your money in a chunk, so you can put that deposit down on something, you know, and make it work for you. So try to educate them to do that outside of boxing, is try to invest their money wisely, you know, instead of just throwing it away. Because when you're young, Dan, when you're doing well, or as I say, you're getting your money in chunks, then you always think that's going to be there. And the trouble with boxing is it's a win or lose game, you know, and you're always on the brink of winning and you're always on the brink of losing. So to invest your money wisely will see your future through afterwards, you know, and you've still got, bearing in mind, by the time they retire at 30, they've got their whole life in front of them. So, you know, lucky enough, most of them listen to me, you know, invest their money. And it's nice to see at the end of it, because I know that they haven't got to fight and they haven't got to make a comeback. And that's a nice feeling, you know, because I can be proud of their achievements, what they've done, you know, and to go and win a British title, you've got to be a good fighter to win a British title. You know, you're the best fighter in Great Britain at your weight. So, you know, any kid that's starting out, you know, to go and achieve to win a Lonsdale belt is a fantastic achievement, you know, and it's something that you'll always be in the record books for, or you'll always be in history for as a former British champion. And that's a great achievement.
Let me ask you a quick couple of things outside of your direct involvement. It seems that Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte are going to cross paths early next year. What do you make of that fight?
I'm just so pleased for Dillian Whyte to finally get his shot, because, you know, how long has he been mandatory for? How many hard fights and hard opponents has he fought? Like, a lot of his fights could have been world title defences. And, you know, everyone's got to be pleased in British boxing that he's finally got his shot, you know. And I've got a lot of time for Dillian. I speak to him regularly. And, you know, he's going to give Tyson Fury a great fight, you know what I mean? And, you know that he's going to come out and, you know, he's going to come right into him and give him everything, you know. And I would much rather be watching, you know, Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury than, you know, Tyson Fury and against an American fighter or whatever, because you can't beat the domestic dust up. And, you know, I'll be looking forward to that fight.
What does Whyte need to do to give himself the best possible chance in that? He's obviously an underdog, but he's fought a lot of tough fights, as you've said, beat some really good people. What does he need to do against someone as unique as Fury?
You know, Fury's a very, very difficult opponent to beat. We all know that. And Dillian's sensible enough to know what Fury's all about. And he's a very difficult fighter to beat. You know, 6'9", he's got the long reach. He's a very, very intelligent man in the ring. Very difficult to beat. He can adapt to any style that it brings, you know, you bring him. But, you know, on Dillian's side, he's obviously got to get himself in the top peak physical condition he can possibly be in. And I would say to put pressure on him, you know, keep Tyson Fury up as close as you can, and, you know, work his body and head, you know, and just try and stick close to him and do a lot of damage on the inside, and not give him that, you know, that leverage to work the jab and the long right hands, because that's what he does. He keeps you at bay, and he's fast, and he pings the long 1-2s in the jab, and he's hard to get near. But, you know, there's plenty of head movements got to go on from Dillian Whyte, i.e. like a Mike Tyson sort of style, get in on the inside and then just bang away in body and head when you're in there.
And now that Fury's probably fighting Whyte, it frees up Usyk to take on his rematch with Anthony Joshua, hoping to regain those belts. But we're not sure who's going to be in Joshua's corner for that fight, because it seems like he's going around the US, or has been around the US, getting advice from different people, not necessarily auditioning them to be the trainer, but certainly kind of getting different ideas about how he should approach the rematch. What do you feel, and you were the trainer for most of his early career, of course, as a pro, what do you feel he should do now in terms of the training team?
He should come back to me, Dan. No, I don't know, Dan.
That's the headline there.
Yeah. I don't know, because to be quite truthful with you, I haven't spoken to him since we parted ways, sort of thing, which is quite sad, really. Do you know what I mean? Because when he first turned pro, obviously I'll see a lot of him. Do you know what I mean? But these things happen in life, you know, and you know, as I say, I haven't spoken to him or heard from him at all, and so I don't really know what he's doing, you know. And but listen, I wish him all the best, whatever he does, and you know, whatever you say about Anthony Joshua, you've got to say his achievements stand for themselves. You know, he come into the game, obviously Olympic gold medalist, but look what he's done for boxing. And you know, in a way, him you know, him and Eddie Earn put boxing, you know, big time in Great Britain, you know, and he brought the crowds in and opened up the doors at Wembley Stadium to fill like 100,000 people in the stadium. And he brought like the life back into boxing again, really, you know, and a lot of it is down to him. So whatever way you look at Anthony Joshua's career, you know, he's had them couple of losses. He lost to Ruiz. He showed great spirit in coming back and, you know, fighting Ruiz again, whether you think that was, I didn't think that was the right thing at the time to do, but he obviously was so confident in the rematch, and he obviously wasn't right in the first fight, like he said. So you can never go against what Anthony Joshua is thinking. If he thinks he can beat Usyk in the rematch, you can't go against that, you know. And even though he was beat convincingly by him, and as we all know, or we've all said probably it was the wrong tactics that he adopted. Who knows? You know, in the fight against him next time, I know what Anthony Joshua is like in his mind. You know, and he is a fighter, and you don't know. You know, he could possibly adopt the right tactics and come out victorious against Usyk. So you can never go against him.
Would you be disappointed if Rob McCracken wasn't part of the training team for the rematch?
Can you see me, Dan, on this?
No, I can still hear you, but the picture's gone.
Wait a minute, Dan.
Yeah, no worries.
What's going on here? Because someone was ringing me. See me still, though, can't you? You can hear me, can't you, Dan?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
There he is. He's back.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I was just saying,
Yeah.
Would you be disappointed if Rob McCracken wasn't part of the team for the rematch?
Would I be disappointed?
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, he's been with Rob for a long time. Rob knows him inside out. I think that Rob can adopt the right tactics for the next fight. Me personally speaking, this is on a personal basis. I don't believe that he needed any other, like, I know he's got another couple of trainers wrapped around him, but I don't believe that he needs any other trainer than Rob. And I think, you know, when fighters get like 2 or 3 trainers wrapped around them, I think they're listening to too many different things. I think he should just go back to Rob and, you know, adopt the right tactics for the fight, get himself in condition, and, you know, go into that fight again and get the tactics right, you know, and he is capable of doing that. And it's because I know him obviously on a personal level, and I've trained him. So I know what he's all about inside. But he's just got to get his tactics right and obviously get in great condition. And then, you know, as I say, you can't really never go against Anthony Joshua.
Just before I let you go, what are you going to do now for the rest of the night and before the weigh-in tomorrow? What will you get up to? How will you occupy your time?
Well, I'm going to watch West Ham in a minute because they're playing Zagreb away in the hotel room. Because lucky enough, we've got BT Sport in here, so I'm going to watch West Ham and just chill out for the rest of the night. And we've got the weigh-in tomorrow, obviously, and get the weigh-in out of the way, and then I'll probably go for something the week with the fighters, and you know, try and relax for the rest of the night and wait for Saturday night to come round.
Well, I hope the Hammers don't ruin your night. I'm sure they won't. They're on good form, so.
Yeah, no, but they've already won the Europa table by a mile. So what they're going to do tonight? They're going to put their youngsters out tonight. They've got young kids. I think they put 5 young kids inside tonight. So they give them a chance to display, see what they've got. So it'll be quite interesting to see them tonight play.
Good stuff. Well, I'll let you go and enjoy that, but I appreciate you giving me some of your time. And yeah, I need to come and visit the new gym. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, definitely, Dan. I'll see you soon, mate.
Take care, Tony. Thank you.